Side of the world. There we are. There we are. Yes, KC. We're coming through to you. Yes, this is the BFTAA and More Show with your host, Louis George Walker. Yeah, I look a little bit different because I'm coming to you through a setup on my Zoom. And we may have some people joining in from the Zoom side. Let me check and see if they're there yet. I gave them late notice. We were trying to get this together. I sent them a clip, so we may get some people to join in a little bit. They're starting a new TV broadcast out of Arizona. So they wanted to get on, and I thought, well, okay, let's see if we can get them on here. But may have gotten to them a little late for them to get prepared. I sent them this meeting maker to see if they could join us here. Let me turn on our other Periscope. Get that logged in for us right here. As we can go out on it also. All right, all right. See about previewing this. Yeah, it's all a work in progress, but we're trying to make it look a little bit better for you. So right now we're up on Zoom and we're coming to you on the Facebook Live, YouTube, and Periscope. So you can pick us up on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Periscope if you have it. A lot of people may not watch Periscope, but we're on it also. So we're going out. I got to check. Miss Walker will always let me know if I have something out of line here. So try and make sure that we're on the air good and ready for you. So if we get the, let's see, where's my paperwork with those? Yeah, Majestic Talent. Majestic Talent is supposed to be coming on. They may join us here at some point. Oh, there we go. We've got somebody in here. We're bringing them up now. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You're probably getting me. All right, let's just try that again. Can you hear me? Okay, I see you, but I'm not getting the video. I mean, the audio. Just a second. Let me see what's going on. Can you hear me? Why is it not? Trying to get this picture. Okay, so you're hearing me. Hold on just a second. Got something that's stopping the. Oh, I always have to look at all my connections. Okay, say something again.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you now. Yeah, there you go. Look like you're in the vehicle.
Much better? All right.
That's much better. So if you're coming through loud and
All
clear, I had my volume turned off. That's what was getting it. I tell you,
Yeah, don't worry.
we try to work with this technology
How you
as
doing,
best.
George? How you doing, man?
I'm doing just fine, just fine. I'm gonna put us up here in the gallery view, so we're there. I got both of us on screen. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. So right now we're going out on Facebook. You're going out on YouTube, and you're going out on Twitter. So we're doing a live broadcast from the KUAW studios located in Kansas City, Missouri, 4510 East Linwood, Missouri. This is the BFTAA and More Show, and right now we have a gentleman with Majestic Talent. They have a new show that's going on. So would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is, I go by Mr. Booger. I'm part of a team with a new TV series that we're doing called Curtains. And what it is a scripted drama series that basically reveals the truths behind the influencer model lifestyle. So most people, they marvel on today's time, with all of these selfies, the social media, the glamour over the lifestyle of the influencers and the models of today. But nobody really knows what happens, when those cameras shuts off, right? Nobody knows and understands how how hard life really is, the scandals and the struggles and things that people go through. So what this drama series entails is basically it follows multiple storylines and shows like the progression and the journey of people, you know, and how their real lives are, to kind of depict and relate to the reality.
All right, all right. So this is a different type of reality show. Now you say you're part of a group, so
Yeah,
te-
absolutely.
tell us a little bit about the group. What is the story about the group itself? How did you come together,
Yeah,
and how many people are in the group?
yeah. So, um, really I brought on the project by two individuals, one named D'Angelo, the other one named Steven. And D'Angelo works more on the business end of things, and then Steven, he handles production. So he brought me onto the project to become one of the actors, to which my character's name is called Juice. And so I'm actually one of the bloggers on the show, and I play a perverted asshole, if you will. So, but yeah, like, but yes, for the most part, but for the most part, I was brought onto the project. I helped bring in some people onto the project as well to elaborate some of the cast, you know, and then it's just simply about unifying, you know, multiple cultures, personalities, and and experiences, and we just basically utilize our talents to bring it to life. And we had a casting call recently, to which we're now bringing on more, you know, to be able to find more talent local to the valley.
Yes, I did see that you had the casting call just started this weekend or a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was it was just over Saturday, so it just happened this Saturday.
So how'd that go?
It went amazing. Yeah, there was a good about 100 to 200 people that came out, which was a big turnout. Everybody, you know, did their best. They put forth their A game, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. So, but don't get me wrong, it was. But I'm glad that we all had a team working together. Everybody was hungry. You know, everybody was dedicated, professional, and that's
Good.
really what it's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what city are you recording this in? Where are you? Where's this show being based out of?
This show is based out of Arizona, and we're actually looking to shoot it based out here in Arizona, just to showcase all of the talent that we have to offer.
All right, all right. It's a little bit
Yep.
warm out there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's the land of the heat, and we plan to bring it. So that's
Oh, good. I'll have to tell my granddaughter. I got a granddaughter down in Tucson at the University of
oh,
Arizona. So
nice. Yeah,
she's
yeah. That's a little bit of drive for me,
yeah.
but yeah, she's not. I still consider her local. So yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I'd be glad to have her part of this if you know she's interested in something like this.
Absolutely. I'll definitely run that by her and stuff. But that is good.
Yeah.
Glad that you guys are here. Now, as you say that your show is showing what goes on in reality after, and that's why you call it curtains, is like after the curtains or what?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the title of the show is pretty much symbolic to what goes on, you know, and to everybody's, you know, everybody has their own story, but nobody really hears the story because it's masked by the industry and, you know, like the standards that are today. So this basically inspired by true life events. It's our way of hearing everybody's story and having a platform to showcase it on, so that everybody understands the brutal hardships that everybody goes through, you know, the struggles that life and the rewards that come with it are not easy to obtain.
Got that. Now, do you have a group of writers? Is one person writing this? How is that, or is it a collaborative putting it
Yeah,
together?
it's a mixture between collaborative, but overhead, we do have the production team that has two writers onto the project. So currently we have two, but it's a collaborative effort to kind of just like add more of our personalities to tie into the characters.
Okay. Now, what is your audience? What demographic are you looking to reach with this, show?
Yeah, so we are pretty much looking to reach any and all demographics, because the way we see it, like we want to utilize this as an opportunity to showcase everybody's talent and what they have to offer. And so I feel like regardless if you're, an 18-year-old or a 55-year-old, we all are talented and experienced and have our own, story to share and, in our own ways, from our own perspective. And I feel like And I feel like utilizing all of that to tie it in together to make a unique, story to tell, I feel like it's beneficial for all ages. And that's kind of what we're utilizing this for.
So now, in your background, have you acted in any other reality type shows, or do you do local, productions, or what's your background there?
Well, this show is not a reality show. It's a scripted version that allows us to have more control over it as well. But from my background, most of my background comes from a modeling perspective. So I've done a lot of promotional modeling. So, work, doing shoots for things like Reebok, Fashion Nova, Mark Echo, even like mattress companies, if you will. It's a wide range of it's a wide range of companies that I've worked for, but a lot of it I've done from a promotional background. Now I'm kind of, kind of switching gears and going more into the acting realm, because, we now in a world like where people are more receptive to video and audio. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Not so much as pictures these days. So I feel like, migrating my platform into a more acting realm will allow me to, just kind of like change with the times, and the world's changing. So I wanted to do something to change with it.
Absolutely, that definitely sounds great. So now, what characters do we have on there, and what about your character? Who is your character anyway on this?
Like I said, my character is Juice, and I play the blogger who's also the perverted asshole. So I'm the guy that like tries to seduce and holler at women, but never gets any play. So like,
okay.
Yeah, like it always fails for me. But at the same time, I'm successful at what I do, because I'm the one that like weasels my way into like the drama and instigates situations, and and gathers the like dirt on people that all the information that I'm not supposed to, and that's what allows me to become successful on the flip end. So and as for the other characters, we have a character who's a young model named Lily. And what she depicts is the new, fresh, innocent model going into the industry. Someone who's not, someone who's ignorant to the world that really, in the way that really things that is, someone who doesn't really know how things are in the industry. Someone who's excited about the glamour, but then but as her story progresses, she really finds out like how like twisted and dark things can be. Like going through harassment and all of that, so on and so forth. And it kind of molds her character away from the innocence, and then, takes it away from there. And then we also have, two managers, Victor and Jacob, who run the agency, also known as Majestic in the show, which is like agents in the show. And then they're kind of like the ladies' man. They have families at home, but they're like ladies' men at the job, so they live double lives.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. And then lastly, one of the main characters we have is her name's going to be Carmen, and that's also one of the people that we're casting for. Now Carmen is going to be like Lily's counterpart. So Lily's still like the young, innocent, gullible model, whereas Carmen's the more experienced one. She's the one that, she's the manipulative one, she's the vindictive one, she's the one that might use her sex appeal to get what she wants, but then like blackmail you at the same time. Things like that. So she's more vicious by nature. So it's kind of like having the two opposite ends, and also show how their progression of their friendship will go as well between Carmen and Lily. So it's kind of like two-part story as well in that sense.
Okay. Now this project sounds like it's going to be huge.
Definitely, it's definitely going to be huge.
What are you all doing to prepare for this project? How are you getting prepared for it? And who's all getting involved with this project with you?
Yeah, so to prepare for this project, you definitely got to say it's a lot of planning. We've had a lot of meetings, a lot of weekly meetings, if you will, but definitely a lot of planning. Definitely, it's important to make sure that you work with a team that has the same mentality and drive that you do. That's very important as well. But to take this a step further, we really want to make sure that we're serious. We're investing not only our time but our money as well. And then also we have a licensed agent to which we're going to, and an attorney that which we're going to use to present this. So with the casting call, we're going to incorporate and basically compile the first pilot episode. So that way we can have a scissor reel or, a presentation piece to present in LA. And then we're going to have our licensed attorney present it on behalf, so that way, presents to, networks such as Netflix, HBO, Hulu, stars, so on and so forth. So we have those connections that, available at our disposal, which we're going to, now we just need to basically compile the first episode so that the casting call was the first milestone to that process.
Okay, so y'all doing all the steps to get this all together. So
absolutely.
So now we want to know, because everybody wants to know going on. You say you've got some ladies, man. You got a lady that kind of knows her way around the business and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any sex or sexy scenes in this show, or is this R-rated or G-rated, or what's going on there?
I mean, without giving too much away, yes, there's definitely going to be some sexy, juicy scenes. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, sex sells. We definitely got to have some beautiful women. And in a world where you're living around entertainment, I'm telling you, in a world where you're living around entertainment in the industry, there's definitely got to be some beautiful women. And I was happy to know that there was a lot of beautiful women that came, out to the casting call. So we'll definitely make sure that they get involved. And they definitely, what they had to read for the casting, they definitely knew what they were in for it. You know what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, no, there's definitely gonna be sexy, juicy scenes. We're aiming to keep this PG-13, but you never know. Like, once we present this to a network, you never know which direction we're gonna actually take it. In the final realm. So
okay, I understand that.
Yep.
But
that's just kind of give you an idea without giving too much. So the more you know, you got to stay tuned. So that's all I got to say.
I hear you. Now for our listeners,
for it.
Our listeners that are out here, and we're broadcasting. We have about 11,000 weekly viewers of things that go on here at KUAW in Kansas City. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But we found out about you guys through one of the guys that used to have a show here, Mo, here in Kansas City. He's kind of plugged into the scene. But do they have, I see on your sheet that they sent me, you guys got a little video, an Instagram video that's out there? If people want to see a little about what this is about?
Yeah, so, if you're looking for more information, curtains, more updates, more footage, you can actually tune in to our Instagram, Instagram.com/curtains TV series.
Okay. Yep. Instagram.com and curtains, huh?
Yep. Curtains TV series.
Oh,
no underscore. Yeah, no underscores, no dots, just all one word.
Curtains all one TV word. Series. Curtain TV series.
Yeah, all one word.
All right. So for the listeners out there, if you want to check out this new TV show that's coming out, Curtains, we're listening to, now what's your stage name again? Mr. Bogger or?
My name is Mr. Booger.
Booger, okay.
Yeah, Booger. Yeah, Booger Jones. That's my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your character's name?
My character's name. So my name is Mr. Booger, but I play the character Juice.
Okay. So, there you go. So I'm talking to Mr. Booger. Okay, and you play the character Juice on Curtain. I get it together here and stuff.
Yeah. I know it's a lot all at once, man. I know. But
okay. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, trying to put all that together. But it's good to talk to you, man. I really do appreciate it.
I was talking to some gentleman named Booger Juice the other day. I was
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I understand, man.
Like, when we have our board meeting and I try to explain this interview here, we'll have to get that out. But that's okay, man. I love it and stuff because we like to get things out to the community. We definitely want to support any African American business that is taking off, and I know that you guys are putting in the work. That's what you've got to do and stuff. So I really appreciate that, and I hope that you're very successful in what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
much appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. Yeah. And I kind of want to just conclude that, that how you mentioned, with a Black-owned business, I feel like this is the perfect time and opportunity to, like I said, basically unify a bunch of cultures, talents, things of that nature that are here local to the valley.
Yeah.
And this basically creates an outlet for something that's productive in a time, of crisis and pandemic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we're looking for this. We're simply looking for this as a positive outlet, during this crazy time. And I feel like this is a good platform to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely going to be pulling for you guys, and yeah, I've got friends and family out that way. So when y'all make it big, I'll run out there and say, "Hey, man, you remember me?"
Yeah, like you're like, "Yeah, man, I remember Big George." Hell
yeah. There you go. So, but
most definitely.
But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to Booger Jones, and he's representing the new TV show Curtains, and you can see some of the clips from it at on Instagram on Curtain TV Series. Go to Instagram, plug in Curtain TV Series, all one word, and check them out. And as they blow this thing up, as they're out there, and you're seeing a whole lot of the episodes. Y'all haven't had any episodes recorded yet, right?
No, we are currently in the process of recording our first pilot episode. So and part of the casting was in the episode. So like I said, once you tune into our Instagram, we'll have more footage, more updates, so that way you have something, you'll know when to be able to watch the first episode once the production releases.
Absolutely. So when we let's see, wait a minute. It's a small production here, so when the phone rings,
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So as it keeps progressing and stuff, keep us informed back here in Kansas City. KUAW will be glad to show, promote, and just talk about this show as it's developing, as it's going on and stuff. So be sure and get in touch with us. Let us know that you got an episode done, you've got this out, and things like that, and we'll be glad to keep this audience involved. And for all you listeners out there, want you to support these independent artists that are out there doing things, making work, and bringing our culture to light. So that's one thing that we want to do. I want to thank you so much for your time. Do you have anything you want to say to the Kansas City audience before you leave? And not just Kansas City, because we're picked up in a few countries also. But
yeah, you big time now, man. It's not more than just Kansas City. You big time now.
There you go.
I just simply want to say I want to thank all of you guys for listening. I want to thank all of you guys for your support. I love you guys. George, thank you for having me. I appreciate your support as well. It's much love. And, again, tune into Curtains TV series. All right, soon to drop. And I love you guys. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Stay cool out there.
Hey, I will. I try, man. I'm about to buy a bag of ice right now and just pour it all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, then, man. Take care. We'll be talking.
All right. Take care of yourself.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, George. Have a good one.
You too. All right. We were talking to Mr. Booger Jones with a new TV production that's going on out in Arizona. I got to see if I can get a camera back here now that I'm back. I may have to take a slight break to get back and get the. Oh no, there I am. See, we make this work like real television. So we're back on here. So yeah, we were just talking to Mr. Booger Jones, and he's part of a team that has created a new TV, or in the process of creating a new TV series, and it's called Curtains TV. So, or the show is Curtains, but if you want to see it, go to Curtains TV series on Instagram, and you'll see it. They've got some pictures up of some of the cast, the casting crew. Want to follow them, but it's always a pleasure for us to show and to talk to some people that are doing things in not just in our community, but in communities, because we are a global community radio station here. So as part of the global community, we're glad to see what they are doing with Curtains, and we hope that they're very successful. Hopefully that'll be on some network and pick it up, and you'll get a chance to see it on Netflix or Hulu or who knows where. So that's good. But this is the BFTAA and More show, and we've started off with an interview. We were glad to get that done. We want to go into some of our regular stuff now. We don't have time to do it all, but as we are about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and we know that those people in the entertainment industry, there are a lot of technicians, there are a lot of people behind the scenes that are in STEM fields. I mean, you've got graphic designers, you've got people working on all kind of IT and production work with cameras, with colors, with multiple computers and all of that. So all of that is a part of the STEM world. And as young people, we want to encourage them to get involved in that. They need to work in that type of format where you see these people are producing a television show. So we maybe hopefully can stay in touch with them and get some behind the scenes shots so that some of our young people can see some of the possibilities that are out there in filmmaking other than just being the television star, that you may be able to work behind the scenes and have, you know, an enjoyable time, a great career, and working with great and fantastic people, just like Mr. Booger Jones, who was talking. He plays the character of Juice on the TV show Curtains. So keep looking for it. Hopefully they'll let us know when they have a pilot come out, but we were definitely glad to have them on today to join us. Now we're going to go to what we usually do at the beginning of the show. It's what's happening in NASA. NASA had some big news over the past week that we want to go. You know, we talk about hidden figures, and one of the hidden figures people was given a great honor, a big honor over the weekend. So let's go right now and see what's happening at NASA. I think I can get that up here.
A power spacewalk outside the space station, honoring a former hidden figure, and a way cool find of a hot Jupiter. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA.
I am clear. Tether's clear. Bob can double check me. I verify you're clear.
On June 26th, our Chris Cassidy and Bob Behnken worked outside the International Space Station to replace aging nickel-hydrogen batteries in one of the station's power channels with new lithium-ion batteries.
All right, Bob, finally heading your way. Sounds good.
The battery replacement work is the culmination of power upgrade spacewalks that began in January 2017. On June 24th, our Administrator Jim Bridenstine announced that our headquarters building in Washington, D.C. will be named after Mary W. Jackson, the first African-American female engineer at NASA. Jackson was part of a group of very important women whose math and scientific acumen helped to safely get American astronauts to space and back. These women were portrayed in the book Hidden Figures and popular movie of the same name. Our planet-hunting TESS spacecraft and data from our recently retired Spitzer Space Telescope helped identify the youngest known hot Jupiter, a type of gas-dominated exoplanet that orbits extremely close to its parent star. The planet, located about 490 light-years from Earth, is believed to be less than 17 million years old and could teach us more about how planets form throughout the universe. The moon in the binary near-Earth asteroid system Didymos, that was previously known as Didymos B, has been officially named Dimorphos. In 2022, it will be the target of our double asteroid redirection test, the first full-scale demonstration of an asteroid deflection technology for planetary defense. We've started a new effort to enable astronauts, principal investigators, and other NASA personnel to fly on future commercial suborbital space flights. These flights are anticipated to be more accessible, affordable, and available than missions to the International Space Station and could provide additional commercial human space flights for research, training, and testing activities. Our Solar Dynamics Observatory has been watching the sun for over a decade. This 10-year time-lapse compresses each day into a second, showing the rise and fall in solar activity and notable events like transiting planets and eruptions. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan.
All right. Yeah, that's what's happening at NASA. Now, as they talked about they named a headquarters building after one of the ladies that was portrayed in Hidden Figures. And that was the first African American female engineer at NASA, Miss Mary W. Jackson. So we showed a little bit about her and the actress that portrayed her earlier this year. But I want to play that video again so you can see or hear and learn a little bit more from the writer of the book and from the actress, Miss Janelle Monáe, who portrayed Miss Mary Jackson on in Hidden Figures. So let's go back to that video for a hot second. Here you go.
A power spacewalk.
Oops, wrong one. There you
go. Mary Jackson became the first Black female engineer at NASA.
I'm Janelle Monáe, and I play the incredible Miss Mary Jackson.
She started working at the Langley Research Center, and she worked initially in the computing pool for Dorothy Vaughan.
During that era, women were not seen as complete human beings. They were just, supposed to be in the kitchen or mothers. And here you have this career woman who says, I am going to be an engineer.
In the engineering training program, she had to take these after-hours courses. Even after hours, she had to get a special permit from the city to allow her as a Black woman to take those classes. But she did, and she did well in the courses. And in 1958, became an engineer. For the next 2 decades, she worked in the supersonic pressure tunnel, looking at how to minimize air disturbances on airplanes that were moving faster than the speed of sound.
So you have this Black, sassy woman who had a different way about her. Her genius looked different. And I think that that's important, that young girls, young women know that they don't have to fit a certain mold to be in STEM.
At the end of her engineering career, Mary topped out, looking for the next promotion, hoping to become a supervisor. It became obvious that she was not going to move up higher, so she took a demotion in order to take a position as the Federal Women's Program Manager. And that job was really dedicated to improving the career prospects for women, all women, at the center.
This woman still caring about others. Even after she had broken down those doors, she still wanted to make sure that other women and minorities had the opportunity to also do something special.
A power spacewalk outside the space station, honoring a former hidden figure.
All right, we're back. All right, yeah, we have to work the front door and the radio booth, but that's all right. We love it here. And this is KUAW. This is Kansas City's global community radio station. You're listening to the BFTAA and More show. Glad you were able to join in and see that little bit about Mary Jackson. If you were here earlier, if not, go back and look at the video. We did a great interview with one of the men that is actually playing in a new television series, or hopefully a new television series that they're screen testing called Curtains. And Curtains is being filmed out in Arizona. They had a casting call this weekend, just on the 27th, and that's actually going to be part of the TV series. But if you want to see what Curtains is about, go to Instagram and put in Curtains TV series. That's Curtains TV series, and you'll be able to see some of the people that are in it and a little bit about it, and you can follow as they go to produce this new television show that'll be showing hopefully on your television soon. But yeah, you just got through seeing a little bit about Mary W. Jackson. She was a NASA administrator or engineer, but this weekend, NASA Administrator Jim Burdenstein announced Wednesday the agency headquarters building in Washington, D.C. will be named after Mary Jackson, the first African-American female engineer at NASA. Yeah, Jackson started her NASA career in the segregated West Area Computing Unit at the agency's Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia. If you watch the movie, they were in a building kind of in the basement to themselves. Jackson, a mathematician and aerospace engineer, went on to lead programs influencing the hiring and promotion of women in NASA's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers, so in STEM. In 2019, she was posthumously awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. She was part of a group of very important women who helped NASA succeed in getting American astronauts into space. She never accepted the status quo. She helped to break barriers and to open opportunities for African Americans and women in the field of engineering and technology, says Burdenstein. Today, we proudly announce the Mary W. Jackson NASA Headquarters building. It appropriately sits on Hidden Figures Way, a reminder that Mary was one of the many incredible and talented professionals in NASA's history who contributed to this agency's success. Hidden no more, we will continue to recognize the contribution of women, African Americans, and people of all backgrounds who have made NASA's successful history of exploration possible. So, you know, that was what they're saying. That's a lady that come up in times when it definitely was not easy for African Americans to excel in definitely not in mathematics and science, or to find jobs and careers in it, but she was able to excel, and then she also reached back to help others. She didn't just take it and say, well, that was good and stuff, but she became a part of not taking the status quo, and to see about they should have a program making sure that we hire more qualified African Americans and women into these fields. So, you know, our big salute to Mary Jackson, and we're just glad that she is now getting the recognition, as it says, Hidden Figures no more. Well, as we look at things going on, and not just in our city, but in other cities, I was kind of amazed over this last few days, which has been terrible. I saw an article on Yahoo said shootings across Chicago killed 3 kids. Activists seek change. 3 kids. One was 1 year old, 4-year-old, no, 1 year old, 10-year-old, and a 17-year-old were killed in Chicago. But then I thought about the news that I saw this morning right here in Kansas City, where there was a 4-year-old at home, sleep in the bed, that was killed when the house was, apartment that he was in was shot, or shot. A lot of shots were fired into it about 2:30 in the morning. This is definitely not what we should have as a community and as a people, where we're killing our children, you know, where we have no regard for the sanctity of life, as to kill a 1-year-old, to kill a 4-year-old, to kill a 10-year-old. What have they done? You know, nothing. And that we're, you know, the shootings and stuff that are going on, like a lot of people say, we get mad at the police about George Floyd's killing, but we also should get mad at people that are killing innocents. We should even be as mad, if not madder, than for people to be able to kill babies. You know, killing babies, that is something that is just not acceptable in no circumstance. No, you can't make that right with whatever went on that caused somebody to do that shooting, to kill a 4-year-old, to kill 10-year-olds, to kill a 1-year-old. You know, that doesn't even happen. I mean, it's against the rules of war, not just alone being, you know, in your own home, minding your own business. I mean, a 4-year-old. So we've got to get just as angry, and people know who did this. Somebody knows. If it was more than one gun, there's a few people that know, and we've got to stop it. We've got to turn people in. We have to, if we know somebody's going to do something like that, we have to either talk them out of it, stop it, or call somebody to prevent any kind of shooting like this going on. If you're around some people and they're just talking about going and shooting up a house, you need to say, no, that ain't the way we can do. That's not the way we can deal with each other, because you don't know who you're going to shoot. You just shoot into a house. You don't know who's in there. You don't know where they are. The person you're shooting at maybe doesn't even get hurt. you know, and then you just have more problems and more problems going around and stuff. We've got to get a handle on this. It's not just the police. It is all of us that have to play a part in reducing the violence that is going on in our community. There's not one reason. I know there's not one person doing it, but we've got to start doing something about the violence that is happening in this community, in this city. You know, it just cannot continue. We're setting records in all the wrong ways for all the wrong reasons. So let's set some more records for people that are doing great things, that are making a big impression in the community, that are changing the way we act, not by making more destruction. I had a few other things. The interview went longer than I thought, but I'm glad that you joined me. This is George Walker. You've been listening to the BFTAA and More show. I'm glad that you were able to tune in. Tell a friend about us. We're on every Monday from 5 to 5:45. Until further notice, we'll be here. We may change things around, but you're listening to KUAW. This is Kansas City's global community radio station. Yes, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. KUAW. We're glad that you were able to join us today. Hopefully you'll be back next week. Stay tuned, 6 o'clock. B. Michael will be on with Shifting Paradigm. That'll be starting in just a few minutes. So, have a good evening. Stay cool out there. All right, bye-bye.